We're wasting all the good stuff. All right.
Yeah,
Welcome, everybody. We were just talking backstage about all the good stuff. So we're going to get to it. Please let me know in comments. Welcome, everyone. If we're live, I think I hit the button. I think we're good. This has been quite an amazing journey. If you have not enjoyed Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham, don't worry. We are going to stay spoiler free for a little bit because I'm lucky enough to host the very last one, which means we have read the entire series now. So we can kind of speak a little bit overall, and I kind of want to do that first off. But you just welcome some folks. Looks like Marco is here. Soggy is here. Tyler, Anita, as you pop in, let us know you're here. And look, this is what I want to start with. I want to start with overall thoughts, best pitch of why people should read this unbelievable, amazing series, Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham. And I'm going to go to the Long Price Prophet first. Like Josh and I do one of these every year. This is our second year, and we always have a great time. Alan, when you heard we were doing this, you got to come in here and join us, and it was so amazing that you did. So I want to go to you first. What's your best pitch? Why should people be picking this up with all the choices of fantasy series they have?
Okay, two reasons. One is that it is an entire story in less than 1,300 pages. First of all, like less than the length of Rhythm of War. Like, yeah. And second, Daniel Abraham, I feel, is one of the best fantasy character writers out there. The absolute nuanced character work that he does in the Long Price Quartet, showing among other things, the relationship between these two men from when they are boys to when they are old men, like old men, like older than you, John, and you're the oldest one here out of us.
Yeah,
it is.
Thanks, Alan.
I mean, I'm just saying you're the oldest one of us. It's even older than you. Yeah. But that, like, just the little just the weight that relationships pick up over the years, the little collection of a grievance here, a pettiness there, a fondness here, and just the accumulation of all of that by the end, and how and I think Abraham in this series also writes consequences for actions.
Yeah.
I think a lot of time in fantasy, a lot of that stuff is brushed off. And I get that. And there are many fantasy series that I like that are nothing like Long Price Quartet. But I think for the character reader and for someone who likes actions that have consequences, from small actions to gigantic actions, that I like, this is one of my favorite series like ever, because, and I read it, this is the second time I've read it, and I liked it just as much, if not more, this go through. So
Josh, coming to you, same question. What overall thoughts on the series, and why should people spend the time and pick up this series?
Well, I got three things. Two are exactly the same as Alan's. First of all, it shows that there's a place for non-epic length fantasy that's high quality, that doesn't sacrifice great world building, doesn't sacrifice great storytelling, great characterization to have page count. Like you mentioned, Rhythm of War. I'm reading Wind and Truth next month, and the whole series here is less pages than that one book, which is one of 5. And that's not that I don't love the chunkers. I mean, all fantasy readers do love the chunkers, but for me, it just shows that when you have a skilled author, that they don't necessarily need the pages. Second thing, same as Alan, the characterization here. I mean, that was what very, very early on, I just found myself connecting to the characters. But then the only author I've seen do this, and I'd like to find more authors that do this, seeing these characters from young boys all the way to old men, was Robin Hobb in the Realm of the Elderlings.
I got to read Robin Hobb now.
Yeah.
Like I've got.
Yeah, you do, Alan. You do.
Robin Hobb. All right.
You do. I mean, that's still my favorite series ever. But this is the only other time I've seen that. And But what was unique about this one, I mean, there are time jumps in there as well, but you were mainly getting, because it was a first person narrative. Here you're getting many characters, because some of the secondary characters, I don't think any of them are in all 4 books, but some of them will be in like 1 and 3, some will be in 2 and 4, and they'll kind of come back, seeing how they've changed and how real they all feel. Like, we're going to talk about a character that I absolutely hated in this book, but he was a very real and a very humanely portrayed character. So the characterization is just phenomenal in this series. Those are the two big things. And my number 3 thing is the Ondot in this series. The Ondot is basically the magic system. It's a personification of an idea. And every time there was an Ondot on the page, I was glued to the page. And all of them are different, but every single one were just beyond compelling. Just such a interesting and very unique take on magic and personification of ideas. And I just loved what they represented and how that he just portrayed these not quite human, even though they kind of look human, these beings that have all these powers. So those are my 3. It's non-epic length fantasy is amazing when it's done well like this. Characterization is S tier, and the Ondot are just compelling beyond whatever you can imagine.
Yeah. I'm going to take this cue right here, Michael. I'm going to sell you on this week. I would echo so many things of what you guys said, like, right, the magic system, the compression, because it's the whole series is fewer pages, like all these kind of things. But the thing that and Janny, we are not into spoilers yet. So don't fear. Don't fear, my dear. So the thing that strikes me is, and like you were saying, Alan, like there are some fantasy series out there that I love that build up to that climactic battle, and you get to see every sword smash, and you get to hear every hoofbeat as they charge in. And I love that. I come to fantasy for that. This is such a different flavor entirely. This is the people that move the world, that make the decisions, that influence everything around them. They are that level. They are the kings and queens that Shakespeare told us stories about. But this story happens in the moments, in the quiet moments, in the relationships in between those climactic and crazy battles and things like that. It's all about the moments that we all experience in real life, how we deal with each other, what we carry all the way through our lives for every decision we make, like those consequences you're saying. What do we carry? What is our baggage? What is our guilt? What is our grief? What does it do to us? All of that is so beautifully illustrated here, so wrapped around character, and just over and over again, it's drama on such a high level, done so well. And he just knocks it out of the park. I mean, it's just book after book after book. I was like, yep, he did it again. And I mean, I kept thinking this is going to make my faves of all time list. And then when I read the 4th and final, I was like, yeah, I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it. It's going to make my faves of all time list. So there's just so many reasons I could go on and on, but you guys did such a great job of illustrating so many of them. So I'll just cut it there. But if you love characters, if you love character journeys, if you love seeing your own world reflected back at you at times, if you love seeing moments in your life reflected back, if you've ever made a decision that you wish you could take back, as far as consequences, I talk about the character arcs going from here to a totally different place by the end. This entire world goes from here to an entirely different place by the end. The entire world. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Quite the same way.
Yeah. Like Abraham makes some really bold choices that could have absolutely flopped in lesser hands. And I'm like, I respect it. Oh,
he swung for the fences. There's no doubt about it. Right before we move on to like some spoilery things, and I know we're chomping at the bit to talk about our favorite moments of book 4, because we're already doing it backstage. I just want to go around and I want to hear what Josh, because I already heard Alan's, but I'll get it again for everybody else. Alan, how would you rate the series? Like favorite to least, Josh? What would you say if you had to rank all 4 books?
3, 2, 1, 4.
Nice.
3, 2, 1, 4. Okay.
Yeah. Autumn War stayed my favorite. That ending is just so ridiculously strong.
I agree. Mine, so mine used to be, the first time I read it, it went 3, 4, 2, 1. But I love Shadow and Summer this go around. So mine is 3, 4, 1, 2. In my ranking. I agree completely with everything Josh says about book 4. I agree completely. It just didn't break me as much as it does Josh. Because I just see 4 as a continuation of 3, and then 2 and 1 are kind of together, because 2 and 1 and 2 set everything up, and 3 and 4 end it. And so and there's Anita's 4-3. Oh my gosh, look. Once we start talking spoilers, I'll tell you why Anita does that. But I don't want to talk spoilers for people like Janny.
Alan, you're 4. No, you're 3.
I'm 3, 4, 1, 2.
Yep. And that is exactly what I am.
Yeah.
I'm 3, 4, 1, 2. And so all 3 of us have 3 at our top spot.
Autumn Wars 2. It's too good. It's just too good.
It just had moments. My jaw came unhinged a couple times.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, look, guys, that's about 12 minutes. I think that's as long as we can hold off without going into full spoilers. Everyone, we're going to get into spoilers for book 4, The Price of Spring, in the Long Price Quartet. Thanks for joining us. You want to hop off if you haven't read this yet, because let me tell you, the shoes that drop in this series, change the characters, change the world, they're huge shoes. They're huge shoes. So, Janny, we're warning you right now. It is time for spoilers. Incoming spoilers right now. We'll even hang out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Alan hopped on with oh, there you are. I don't know what you did.
Your audio.
You don't have audio.
Why, when I shut the video down, does it take me off stage? Is that a setting you have?
Not me.
That has never happened. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nice. What? All right. I will be right back. I need to go fetch the baby.
We can hear you. That's fine. Whatever you need to do. Okay. So let's just hop on with you, Josh. Hit me up with like some of your favorite moments. I got a lot of stuff written down here if we need it, but I just want to like what were some of the wow moments for you?
Well, my favorite thing is my favorite character in this book. Aya, is that how we say her name?
Yeah, I think so.
I think she was who we saw first right away in the prologue. And I was excited for that because I liked her as this. Even in Autumn War, she was a very secondary character, but she had a bit of an arc. She was kind of smart, but she was kind of an immature little kid until she started working with the doctor. And then she, ended up wanting to do that. And then we see right away that she's a doctor. She's extremely well respected. But then you see that she has been avoiding her brother, and there's been fallout since the previous book. And that was one of the things I loved most about this book, was just the process of discovery early on, seeing where everybody was, because such a big thing happens to the entire world and at the end of Autumn War. And you wonder how it directly impacts like our major characters, because they were there. And, because we at the end of Autumn War, we saw, Seimai and Mati going off to try to maybe do something. And then we wonder how Ota's going to be the emperor and all of this stuff. So it was cool seeing Aya right away. Okay, she is a doctor. Oh, but she's not with her brother. So what's going on with that? So that was like the initial thing that I liked. And then in many ways, this was her book.
It absolutely was.
She saves the day at the end, and that scene was amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing when you realize that she had pulled it off and Wounded was there. And it was like, oh, because that's another thing. I could have mentioned this in the non-spoiler. I love when authors just, they don't tell you like the big moments. They don't get hyperbolic. They're just matter of fact, and they tell the story. It wasn't like, oh, and then the blah blah blah. It was just like, oh, and this pale guy with a hair, blah blah blah. And you have to kind of do the work yourself. Like Erickson's good at that, where he just kind of tells the story, and you have to make sure you're paying attention to see what really happened. And it's not hyperbolic; it's a matter of fact, but it's still just so impactful. Mm-hmm. And that whole scene, not only just where you realize that, okay, she pulled it off, she bounded Ondot saves the day. And then like 5 pages later, she was like, okay, we're done. And he's gone. It was just like that whole scene for me, because up to that point, there's a lot of this book I wasn't liking. But that kind of redeemed so much before it because it was just so strong. So for me, like that's my number one in this story is just Aya, her whole story, and then especially how at the end where she seizes the Ondot, has him do his thing, and then she was like, "Okay, you can go now."
Yeah,
like,
and then releases it. Like that was like wow,
amazing.
Yeah,
love that so much.
Yeah. How about you, Alan? What was like your big pout, your amazing top moments?
I mean, the end when Donat is reading reading through his dad's old letters. And I love that Anna says, if you burn those letters, I will leave you. And I am serious. And he's like, but he told me to. He's like, he's dead. He doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care. Like, this is all you have left of him. Do not burn those. Do not burn those. It's all you have left of him and your mom, because they're letters to his dead wife. Mm-hmm. So what always, like, first of all, I love what Abraham is doing here with how the women like you understand where A is coming from. Like, I don't know what she wanted him to do. Like I don't know what Aya wanted from him, because like I don't know what the solution was. But like I get it. Like Aya is saying we're having to skip a generation. And so there's a generation of Galtic men, and there's a generation of Kayate women that we're just going to ignore. Like, we're just going to have to cast aside. And I think he does a really good job with, like, I think Ota is weighing with that. But the big things that get me is always the relationship between Ota and Mati. When Ota, like the scene where they first meet each other after where they first meet each other, they see each other again after all of that time. And like Mati's going to try to be like, he's going to try to, be conciliatory. And Ota just right at the beginning is like, what are you doing? And Mati's like, don't you freaking accuse me of that crap. Like, I tried to get your help. I'm the one on the run. And when they're screaming at each other, and like, it was like, I hated it. I hated it so much, because I'm like, guys, you're friends. What, like, guys? But like, and they had to be separated, and they had to be like, Idan had to talk to both of them. And so just the fracturing of that relationship, because we see that Ota still does love Mati. Like he does, like he still loves Mati, and Mati still worships Ota and also just hates him. Yeah. And so when Ota thinks to himself that he would rather send a stranger to talk to Vanjit than Mati, like he has negative faith in Mati. And then he's writing the letter to Kian, and he's like, I am sending the least reliable man in the world to do this. It breaks my heart. Like, it breaks my heart, because I love their relationship throughout these books, and just it's absolute basically dissolution in in this book is really, really painful for me to watch.
Mhm.
And even at the end, Mati's, in jail, and he's still bitter. Like, he's not like, you know what, it came down to all that. And he's still bitter. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you just want to show this to me so you can push me off? It's like, no, Mati. And they just have a moment where, because he's like, can you forgive me? And he's like, Mati, we have been so many things to each other over the years. Like, I don't even know what that word means right now. So let's just sit here. And they do. And they just sit there, and he shows him, the sun coming up over Saraket, and he says, thank you. And that's the last we hear of Mati. And it's just so well done. So I love, there are fewer big moments in this one. Von Jeet turning everybody blind is
Yeah.
In the creepy baby Ondot.
Oh, that's so creepy.
and clarity of sight, like making the Ondot a baby.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
But
it's
that,
just,
with how they're broken from what's happened, that's exactly how they would.
Because the Ondot, like it's literally her desire for a child made whole, and like her obsession with having a child made manifest, with all of the good and horribleness in that. And it's so, it's just wonderful. But Mata, and I love Aya in this. I love Aya. I love Idan. I love Donat. I'm glad he got over his croup or whatever he had when he was a kid.
I wondered I would wonder if he'd even be alive, because they kept.
I think he just grew out of it. It's probably like childhood asthma, childhood TB.
Had the crud.
But yeah, Ota and Mati's relationship in this it gets me right in the feels.
God, those letters too. Like, I'll get to that by the end. Those letters, because they kind of lead into the epilogue, and we'll get to that to the end. I kind of jotted down notes, guys, as I went through, of just things that struck me as I'm reading this last book, and I just see how they hit you guys. Right off the bat, I was like really struck how you say he doesn't give up. Josh, I believe you said that he doesn't give up world building, even though he's not lingering for pages and pages and pages. And at the beginning of this book 4, I was really struck by one of the things from all this fallout of book 3 is it looks like the Khaim has moved into this kind of industrial revolution.
Yeah.
Like sometimes even the poses are giving way to, oh, I got to catch a train. Like even the expediency and the way life moves and things like that are really affecting their culture. And I thought and he doesn't beat it over the head. He doesn't, but it's there.
Yeah.
And people to say I don't like the poses, it's like where he uses that and takes that is truly effective by the end.
Well, you see them bow, like you see some of the Kai, like Ota, I think, bows at some point. Like, the bowing is Galtic exclusive, but you also see the Galts trying to do the poses.
Yeah, I liked that. Was it what was her name? Anna's mother.
Yeah, Anna's mom.
How she was. Yeah, she was trying to do the poses, and it was one of those like
Isandra.
Yeah, she was trying to do the poses, and they were kind of appreciative that she was trying, but failing to do the poses. But little things like that just kept to informing the world building, which again, it's so for me just vivid for such a short series. That
and
I can picture the people culture so much more clearly than a lot of other things that I've read that are a lot longer.
Yeah. And how the consequences stack up and change, even from subtle things like that to interpersonal interactions in a cultural or societal way to, of course, huge things about, we cross-sterilized to warring nations. The next thing that just is like, oh my God, Aya is on board with Mati. Like, I did not see that coming. I didn't see that. I didn't see her being all in with Uncle Mati as having the answers.
Yeah.
And she wasn't for the whole trip. I mean, she did finally realize, oh, he's as broken as everyone else and just should really.
I kind of saw her as she called him Uncle Mati. So she's the doting niece with the old uncle that, is well-meaning, but misguided, but she really wanted to help him.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's also blinded for the most part by her desire to prove her dad wrong, that the women of this Chi generation can have a purpose.
Yeah.
And so she's driven, she's blinded by her drive to also make sure that they can reverse this. And eventually she has to realize, like, oh no, what have we done? Like, what
Yeah.
have we done? Like,
And that,
guys, the thousands upon thousands of people that die because of Maki's carelessness here is, like, you can't even stop and think about it too hard. Like,
it's
like he just, like, because of his carelessness in letting Von Jeet grab an dot, like, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people die.
Yeah, a true genocide, really.
Oh my gosh, it's brutal,
and in a horrendous way, like in a truly horrendous way.
Yes.
And one of the horrendous parts of it is how sanitized it is for them, because they are removed in a whole different country. They don't even have to know or see or yeah. I thought that was one of the themes that we saw, was a strong woman's place in this society, with both societies.
Yeah.
From book one, different characters, all the way to the end of this. I thought it was extremely well and thought-provokingly done.
If in fact in this book, I felt the women were so much stronger than the men.
Yeah.
Even
I think it's intentional.
In Ota. So I mean, we'll talk about it at some point, but I didn't like Monty in this book. But even Ota was just so many times he seemed like he just turned into this old man that, like, lost all his intelligence and skill, and he would look at his young son who's 20 and be like, okay, you tell me what to do. And he really frustrated me. Like, I think it was Donat that gave him the clue to go to talk to Sandra, like to take that angle, because he'd suddenly forgotten after all these years of politicking, like he didn't know what to do anymore.
He's tired.
He's just a tired old man, and Monty's just a bitter old man. So I guess that's what it became.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
This is a perfect segue for the next thing that, like, just really struck me when I was reading this one, is that moment when it was Ota and Geist that were sitting together and commiserating about both of their empires just going to fall because they can't get the votes. There's so much deep-seated blame and prejudice and grief and baggage that they can't get the votes to come together.
Yeah.
And that's why it took 15 years for any of this.
Beautiful scene. Just such a beautiful scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost that friendship between Ota and Mati. It's like guys kind of took the place of that for Ota towards the end because of what they had been through, There was I wrote it down. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There was a quote about Geis and Ota that I liked. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is.
Oh, sorry.
And they had become at first diplomats, then friends, and now something deeper and more melancholy. Fellow mourners, perhaps, at the sick beds of their empires.
Yes.
So good.
So good. And so true. Because they had that shared trauma. And even though they were opposed, I mean, we saw one of the things we talked about with Autumn Moore that we really like is a theme I love in books where people are on opposing sides and they see each other and they recognize something in each other, and they realize if it had been different a situation, that they probably would have been friends. And here we actually see it. We see these characters do over I guess it was 15 years between books, that they did become friends.
Yeah. And the scene with Geis right after they're blinded, when Geis is just like he is so pissed because he thinks Ota had something to do with it. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? Oh man, it's such a because they were the ones who've been thick as thieves this entire book so far. And then because Ota doesn't have any friends. Ota has no friends.
Yeah.
Well, and he can't. When you get to that level, I don't think you can't. But Geis is the one that still can hang on, and they can still commiserate. From the moment in book 3 when they sat at that table and looked across each other, and saw each other and saw themselves in each other. Like
Yeah.
Josh was saying, that magic moment. It just, I love that scene. Loved every scene with
And
them
I think
together.
Ota is made like, I think that wounds Ota even worse, because now he's got to deal with being even lonelier, because now he's lost his only friend. Oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. All right. I got to hit you up, Alan, because I bet you saw this just like I saw this.
What?
When Ota decides, this is what I'll do. I'll make an appeal to the women, to the wives, to the daughters. I'll make an appeal. Did you not see Shades of Lysistrata right there? Like I was just like, that just took me back immediately to that show.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man,
that's just a deep cut Greek play for me and Alan.
Yes. Whoops. Yeah, getting all the women to collude together.
Yes.
Because the men won't listen to reason. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
And who really has the power? Then how do we set up this state marriage? It's with Sandra, who really has the power with her husband, not her husband in the Senate. Like it was just a great little. That just struck me, and I had to throw that out there for you, Alan.
But Ota realizes he should have gone to the girls too. He's like, you know what?
Should have gone to the daughters.
I am treating people like, they don't have any.
I did love his moment of clarity though. Like when he tries to talk to Anna for the first time, and then he realizes like, she just sees me as this like random old dude. Yeah. She's not going to see me as this wise, blah, blah, blah. But that was real.
But doesn't that completely play too? Like, I am the old dude now, and the generations coming up that take the world that I've trod. They look at, we ruin things. It's part of being young, So let's see what okay. Monty, this cult of women that Monty puts together is so damaged. They cannot, there's no way that they're going to be able to drop their traumatic past and be able, and this is set up, this is one of the things that's so beautiful about this whole series. Set up from the very beginning of the poet at the very beginning that, all my faults are in this. I've written this treatise of how I would do it again because I've got all my faults into this. So now fast forward to book 4 and you're bringing the women together because, they could probably do it better and differently than we ever could. It's going to be the same rinse and repeat, man. You're doomed for failure, right? Like
I think it could have worked had it not been Monty leading them. Like the grammar of women, that idea was brilliant because they couldn't rely upon any of the texts or anything. All that was burned, so they had to do it new. So yeah, fresh ideas. It'll be different, sure, but they still had Monty as their because even when he left, like they made all these strides when he was gone. So it was just
that is really good point.
To be fair, Aya is the one who suggested using Von Jeet. That is Aya's mistake. Like Monty was hesitant. He's like, "You think really Von Jeet? Like, I don't know."
Yeah.
And Aya's like, she knows, like she's the furthest along. So Aya let her own ambition blind her to that. And then I mean, there's no excuse for Monty afterwards. But like, to be fair, Von Jeet wasn't Monty's idea.
I guess, but he initially like found all these people and brought them together.
Well, that is because it's because if they're going to get any of the Ondot back, they can't remember, like it has to be a completely different kind of binding than what's been done before.
Right.
And he doesn't think any of the men, like he doesn't know how to do that. So he's like, women think differently than men. So we'll view the Ondot through their lenses and it'll work. And they, unlike me, will be able to get over their petty differences and vendettas, and it will be fine.
But look at where he found Von Jeet and in what state he found her in. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I think you joined my merry band. Like it was just doomed from the start, man.
Yeah, like him not. So Von Jeet was proof of concept. Like Von Jeet was so that Aya wouldn't have to risk binding an Ondot and failing. And he can't input the protection against the price because we saw what happened when
We
he
saw
did
what
that.
happened there. Yeah.
So I don't know. He should have gotten Von Jeet like to get rid of clarity of sight. Like he should have murked her in her sleep, like at the beginning, like Shank, like sorry, Von Jeet, thank you. We got.
How about the end of that?
See.
The end of that one chapter when the Ondot speaks for the first time and says we have to kill her.
Yes. Isn't that the creepiest?
With its pointy teeth?
My God.
Yeah, okay. This has already kind of come up, but I have like Idon shows up and like, let's face it, is a total badass.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. And Samai is just a kept man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Total kept man, but it's like if he would have got involved, things could have gone a better way, I think.
I think Mati's turn is when Samai denies him. And I think maybe we could have had a different outcome if Samai, because that's when Mati kind of like hardens his heart, realizes that, well, I guess even Samai, my fellow, like prince in exile, is going to turn on me. And that's when I think that's when Mati kind of like, because that's where he throws caution to the wind. And that sucks. And it's not personal. Samai's just like, look,
he's
man,
done.
Like,
he's
like
done.
I don't like. Do you not see what we did? Like, I don't want to do this again. Like, can I just hang out with my wife
on
like,
the farm?
I don't want to do this anymore. So Samai was wise, but it's just, so Mati, like, oh crap. I think of it and then I immediately forget. I'm so tired. Having children makes you stupid. Just forget. Having children makes you stupid and not be able to remember anything.
It's all cool. The one amazing thing about Idon showing up, though, it's like I did not expect to see her again. And I thought, I thought Daniel Abraham does such a great job throughout all 4 books of, that's how life works. People leave, people come back. When you think you'll never see him again, they resurface. When you think, oh, this is going to be my friend for life, maybe not. This is my love forever. Could be, you don't know. Like he does such a great job of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how he did that because like he did a similar thing with Liat where she wasn't in consecutive books.
Right.
So there's an even bigger gap of time. And of course, this Idon felt so different. Obviously, she's 30 years removed from being the sociopathic killer of her family. But you still, it's still in there, or you assume it's still in there. But she also, in the 30 years, she provided like a lot of wisdom in this book.
Yes.
And a lot of sound counsel, even if people weren't 100% trusting her. I really like that evolution. It's like I could almost see just in the subtext that, she did eventually come to terms with who she is and the regrets she has. Cause at one point, didn't she thank Ota for naming his son Donat? Cause wasn't that,
I think, and she also thanks him for exiling her.
Yeah. So
and not taking your life. Yeah.
But I like that. It might not have been as effective had we seen her in an Autumn War.
Oh yeah,
having more time removed and then
Yes.
kind of being reintroduced as character and knew who she was when she was like 20 years old or something. Well, now she's like 50 years old, and that's a totally different person. So
completely.
Yeah,
and I think Anitha said it. Abraham expects you to keep up, or he has ultimate faith in his audience that they'll keep up. And it's like, even though she's not on the page, when she shows back up, and it's like, okay, she can be a badass because, like you said, Josh, she still has a little bit of that psychopath in her. She'll lean in and do what has to be done.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She's also incredibly insightful. It's her. I forget who asks, but someone asks Ota, "Why do you care about the freaking Galt so dang much?" And I forget who asked it, but he doesn't answer, and it's Idon that says it is because 40 years ago he did something horrible. Yeah. And he has to make it mean something.
Yeah.
So it's all of the Galt's die anyway. And because Ota has had to live with taking a man's life with his own bare hands.
Yeah.
And he's had to carry that burden his entire life. And he did it so that Galt wouldn't be wiped out. And if Galt is wiped out anyway, he has literally burdened himself with this unbelievable guilt for his entire life.
Right.
And it's Idan that points that out. She's like, that's why. Because
but it's just it's so consequence after consequence after that's where it started, but that drove him to become the Kai. It drove him to make all we're completely where we are, looking at the death of two nations entirely because of what spun forth from that moment in time.
For sure. Yeah.
And you're right so much. I mean, I'm sure on a reread, Alan, you see even more of it, but even just first time through, when I reflect back, I think that's one strength of reading it within 4 months is reflecting back to the first book. So much of the world and the characters were there from the start. I think we said right before we came on, like with Mati, like at the beginning, he shouldn't have been a poet. And then we see him later in the first book and he shouldn't be a poet. And then in the third book, we reinforce he shouldn't be a poet. And in the fourth book, he was like, well, I'm going to train poets,
He shouldn't be the Dyke Poe for sure.
Yeah.
So, but we see that from the very beginning, when he's being punished and as a little boy when Ota helps him. So, I mean, that's just some long-term planning from a authorial standpoint that had huge payoff.
He is quite the architect.
In Mati's defense, and this I was arguing this with Anitha, Mati has caused an entire generation of both nations to basically not exist. I don't know which of us, if we had the ability that Mati does, would be like, you know what? I guess we're going to take the L on that one. Like, I think all of us, if we were vested with that kind of power, would try to fix it. Like, that's why, like, Mati's, like it's for us reading it, it's like, Mati, what are you doing? Yeah. But I mean, his desire to fix it because he wants to fix his mistake is admirable. Now,
every bit as strong as Ota's drive to make that death early on mean something.
Absolutely. But Mati also, half of that is his desire, his need, his pathological need to prove himself and be respected. Like it's not just, I need to fix this, driving it. It's like, people need to know that I did this to try to save everyone, and now I'm going to save everyone. And that is just what's so tragic is he just is so mad that, remember, he thinks Ota's the golden boy. Nothing happened. Ota always lands on his feet. Ota, no matter what disaster befalls anybody, Ota sits on the pile of bodies, ruling from his throne of bones. And from experience, like, I was an angry kid. I know what that mindset is like, and that doesn't lead anywhere. Like, that doesn't lead anywhere productive. And he just can't accept that. Sorry, bud. At no point does he accept responsibility that he doesn't accept responsibility for his actions. And that's really what it comes down to.
And that's why he drove me crazy in this book.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's why I couldn't stand him in this book. Okay. Yes, you were treated poorly. This shouldn't have happened to you in this book, all of this, but dude, you screwed up. You screwed up. Like, own it. Oh, I tried and I failed. It happened. Don't blame everybody else because, deep down you're still just mad at yourself for screwing up.
Yeah.
And it just drove me crazy. He had such hate for Ota in this book.
It was such a human drama for him because that's all. It's all he has. It's all he's ever had. From the moment where Ota made him eat dirt and then told him the true secret, to the very end when he's walking around the countryside going, guys, it wasn't just me. This was all of our plan. Why am I the one out here bearing all of this? It's like from there to there, he had nothing but exactly what you were saying, Josh. He had nothing but the sentiments at him and that angry voice in his own head. You should have never been a poet. You should have never been put in this position. You're not worthy of this position. And there's nothing else that drives him foot by foot, further by further every day than those voices. That's what makes him do what he does.
And the thing is, I think he knows that. And I think when he goes to see Ota, when he's like, we need Ota, I think he's going to cop to some of that. And then Ota rails into him and he loses it. I think that was an opening that Ota could have used, and Ota couldn't control himself. He was so mad. And like, we've all been there where it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to apologize. Beauty of it. And then the person's a douchebag, and you're like, you know what? I'm not apologizing, you piece of garbage. And it's just like, what are y'all doing? Please stop.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of the book that hit me over and over again. Is we all have been there. We've all had those moments, you know? I just have like some nightmare fuel scenes that when they hit me, I was just like, oh, that is just creepy. And that's like the Ondot baby. Like, that was just the Ondots. And like you say, Josh, they were so compelling. You couldn't look away. Right.
Clarity of sight. Yuck.
Like the Ondot that they brought back in book 3, and then this baby Ondot, like, that is creep factor number 12. Like, it is just
some real subtle horror writing.
Yes.
There. And it grew. Like, it was toddling around later. Like, it grew up. Like, yucky. It's like him saying it was a baby with just, if a baby had like completely black eyes filled with hatred. And I don't want to see that.
And pointed teeth, and would toddle up and whisper, you know, we really got to kill her. Like, that is creepy as, I mean, that's a whole Chucky franchise that they made off of that. Like, that was creepy.
I hate clarity of sight. Yuck.
And then the other creep factor that was great was the whole blindness thing. Like, that was really well done. How she just kept showing the power she had. Like, I think the last scene, or one of the last scenes she had with Monty, where she took it away and then gave it to him, and she was just kind of playing with him, like toying with him. And I mean, she was. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think she'd become quite the psychopath that she ended up being, but she certainly, I guess, grew into the role. Oh yeah,
when she was the poet, because she was ridiculously.
Well, it's like the absolute scary. Power corrupts absolutely, right? Like, once she was successful and got that power, it went nowhere good from there on out. Yeah. But for sure. No, she was a piece of work. Yeah. So I love the juxtaposition of long-term friendship of like Balazar and Mati to Ota. He does such a great job, Abraham does, of looking at these relationships through an enormous amount of time. Yeah. I mean, obviously a whole lot of thought behind just that evolution. Yeah. Because I even think of, I'm sure you the same thing, John, like you have lifelong friends, but your relationships change. Yeah. Over time. That's exactly it. It's so much so, right? Like, I mean, I remember all my friends I went to high school with, and we thought we were brothers and would be forever, Yeah. And if you put me in a room with them now, I would love to see them. I don't know if I'd have a lot to talk about, Yeah. And this is what ever since they sat across that table, Balazar Geis and Ota, there was a bond there. And from boyhood on, Ota and Mati, it's like, just towards the end, it was like they couldn't be in the same room together because of what they had all been through. It's one of those things. I saw a comment earlier that Eli put up there about the thin line between love and hate. And that's very true for people that, when you're friends with someone that long and you have a relationship that long, you are so close that it's almost kind of beyond like the bonds of a friendship. It's almost like a brotherhood. And, we all know who have the biggest fights is often family, because you're so close. Yeah. And, it's certainly portrayed very, very well here, but I still struggled with Monty in this book. He just wouldn't take any responsibility whatsoever. Yeah. And that just grated on me the whole time. He had such hate. And then he was just so blind, even after
Vonjit binds the Ondot, he's just blind to how psychotic she's becoming, and he keeps trying to see the best in her. And I don't know if that's because she was manipulating him or not, or if he was just willfully blind to her. But that drove me crazy too. Just like, open your eyes, man. Can you see what's happening?
Yeah. Look, I would have loved a great redemption arc too. And I would have loved to, I think I even said it when we talked about book 3. It's like, I just want to see these two sitting together, at the end, looking back after all they've been through. And I mean, I got that in a way, but they just couldn't, man, he couldn't accept responsibility. They couldn't, it was just too much, man.
Yeah.
It was just too much.
I don't know. I don't feel poor Monty. I did until this book. I mean, because like I love redemption arcs.
Yeah.
I love when you see the person that struggles and then they come out of it, and like we saw how respected he was, as like the second poet and all of this. And I loved that, like, oh, finally, something's going to go right for him. And then, well, it didn't.
Yeah, it did not.
Yeah. Abraham, in basically everything I've read by him, subverts those kind of expectations.
Yeah.
Where you don't get the traditional arc that you're expecting to get.
It did feel real though. I mean, I can't push back on that. It was just, going into this book, I think I liked Mati a little bit more than Ota.
Yeah.
And not by the end.
Well, in this one, you don't like Ota either. You don't like tired old man Ota.
I don't know.
Aya is my favorite.
Aya is a bad. Aya and Adon are the real badass of this. And this this what before we run out, we're getting closer to an hour, guys. Before we run out, we got to hit that epilogue. Like this epilogue hit me like a ton of bricks.
For sure.
Petals do not return; they are replaced in spring. The price paid for what we all get to live a life, right? And the lives we've watched, and to see the ripples they'll continue to make even after they're gone. With, like you brought up the letters, Alan, and even though his wife was gone, the effect she had on every step that he made. And even though we leave a void, we are not gone, and we leave some type of legacy. And I just thought that epilogue was everything. It was just so beautiful, and it tied up so many themes of the book in such an amazing way. Like you guys take it. Well, how did that hit you guys?
No, same. I mean, it brought it all back together, because I was struggling with the book for a while. And then, I mean, once we got the final scene and then the epilogue, and, it was, I was a little emotional at the end, because we had lived, even though we had these big gaps between books, it's like we lived the whole life with these characters, and we got to know them from beginning to end. So it was a beautiful ending.
Yeah, I agree. They don't make a single mention of Mati in the epilogue. Not one. He's very clearly dead. Like, he's very clearly died. Yeah. But they don't, like, I remember when I read it the first time, like, I thought they would say something about it. No, like, he's moved out of their life. Like, we know what happened to him. His heart failed eventually and he died. But watching Ota become really tired and really old, where he can't even, like, his hands hurt, can't even sign anything. And just watching Donat and Anna try to, take up the mantle of a new nation. They're completely, they're
a completely new nation.
Because what we didn't talk about, but more the world building stuff, is that the Kaid and Galt were they're the two superpowers, and with them taken out, you've got and like where Chiburitan, where the pirates and stuff, like, you have all these minor powers like moving to fill that power vacuum, and so having to ally just to stay, like it may not, it's not even them that's threatening their nations anymore. It's it's these outside nations now. So it's just yeah, it's just so good. And then you know, petals, they say the flowers return in spring. They don't return, they're replaced. Like
They're replaced.
Yeah.
And
By a new generation that is going to take over. And it's interesting how history remembers people. Like Mata is not mentioned, right? Like he did as much to shape this reality as anybody. And he is, you know, pretty much just going to be fade or remembered as
he's
remembered
as the most hated man, man in the world.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what a cross to bear.
Yeah.
I did like how they put Donat and Anna together, how the author did, because like the first scene was like, whoa, she just like when she just announced to everybody, like, yeah, I'll never sleep with you.
She stood up at the dinner.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, that was a bit unexpected here.
Yeah,
for sure.
I did like that subtlety, although you kind of saw it coming when she wasn't feeling well, and like the women knew what was up, and the guys, of course, were clueless. And yeah.
And Aya ending up with her coworker and with 2 kids. Like,
oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Aya has children, and he doesn't even make a big deal about it. He just has someone be like, hey, how are Phidias or whatever, Phidias and the girls, and they're like, they're good.
Yeah. And I think you were mentioning that, Josh, like he'll just drop, like it's not something you can breeze through, because he will just drop a little something, and it's like, wait a minute, that kind of changes everything. Yeah. I love what Book of Eli here says: long price of friendship, power, accountability, love, compromise. It's all there. And Abraham has a knack for making it all work exquisitely well.
Yeah, that's great. For sure. I'll tell you, the only thing I didn't like about this series, I don't know if you've seen these editions.
Yeah. Oh, different sizes?
Like, sorry, I can't see my screen. There it is. Yeah, they're like, this one is like a ½ inch taller and about a $1/4 inch deeper. And like, as a collector, it just drives me up a wall that the same publisher could do that.
You know what, Josh, if you finished a series and that's your biggest gripe, that was a heck of a series.
It is. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, John, we talked about it last time. It's one of those like, well, I got to redo my favorite book series video now.
Yep. Oh, that's definitely coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Josh, you and I talked about what we're going to do in 2026.
Yep.
So we will be doing Rebecca Roanhorse's trilogy. And Alan, you are more than invited to join us again, my friend.
Let me look at my calendar. I may.
We probably won't start until around the same time next year, month 4, month 5, somewhere in there. It's a trilogy. They're all 3 about this long. So
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know I knew there was a second book. I didn't even know there was a third book.
No, they're all 3 out.
Yeah, it's but Between Earth and Sky is the name of the series.
Got it.
Yeah. So we would love to see your face again.
Let me check my calendar. I may very well join you, gentlemen.
Yeah, and we could set it up to where you have plenty of time, and we can make it work for all 3 of us, because this has just been an absolute delight for me to read this series with the 2 of you gentlemen.
I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, this has been a home run of a choice. So yeah,
for sure. Anitha won a conversation with Daniel Abraham in some contest thing.
Oh, wow.
So she was one of a bunch of people there, and they all wanted to talk about Expanse. That's all they wanted to talk about. And so Anitha like talked to him about LPQ briefly and was like, "Hey, special editions when?" And he was like, "Yeah, James S.A. Corey sells books. Daniel Abraham doesn't sell books." And Anitha's like, Anitha's a huge fan, and I'm a huge fan. But I mean, apparently, his solo works don't do as well, which is just tragic.
Well, let me tell Alan, I love this so much. I went out and ordered all of Dagger and Coin.
Dagger of Coin is also excellent.
He sold 5 more books to me.
There is now. I don't like it as much as LPQ, but some people like it more. And the character work in there is also exceptional. There is a character in Dagger and Coin that is one of his best. Just like what is this character? So it'll be similar feelings of Josh being like, what no, if Josh ever reads it, like it's It's just good. It's just good character work. I love it.
Yeah. See, he sold 10 more books. Me and Book of Eli both went out. Both went out and bought Dagger and Coin. So there we go. Let me just pop. Book of Eli is our absolute pleasure. We had the most fun doing this. Our next one next year sometime. We're gonna get Alan in on this. We're gonna do what's the trilogy name, Josh?
Beneath Earth and Sky.
Beneath Earth and Sky.
Yeah.
By Rebecca Rowanhorse. So
Ben, you got to read it. You got to read Dagger and Coin, Ben. When you do, let me know. I'll reread it with you.
Oh, all right. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Dagger and Coin stares at me across the room every day, but I'm holding out for what I need.
Ben is also a long price convert. Like Ben also loves long price. Well,
consider me working to become the next long price prophet. I work at your feet, my mentor.
Look, keep proselytizing. Keep proselytizing.
I'm going to do it. It's no doubt it's making my list. Everyone in the chat, thanks so much for hanging out with us. This has been a most fun. Thanks to these two fine gentlemen here for reading this with me, hanging out with me, making it truly special. For everyone that watches this on repeat, hit us up. Let us know you're on replay. We would love to talk to you. We'd love to see you next time. If you haven't checked out these two gentlemen's channel, absolutely do that. They're the best there is. And we will catch you all next time. Good night, everybody.